Hello, this is Casey from KC Grandpa Tech, where your geeky grandpa talks tech reviews, product reviews, fun stuff, travel, and more. Listen, today I want to talk to you about Mevo Start, which is a system of camera which you can use for live streaming and recording. For so long we've been using other methods. I want to talk to you about some changes that have occurred with Mevo. So let's get into that right now. So what I'm talking about is this Mevo self-contained unit that allows you to stream anywhere. Connects to your cell phone as your screen, so you don't have to carry around additional equipment, which we've had, as you know, in the past. I mean, when we started live streaming with either you had to use your cell phone or you had to use a video camera that was connected to a computer that was connected to the Wi-Fi or connected to this. You had to use an HDMI converter. It was rather complicated. And Mevo, some time ago, they solved this problem by creating the Mevo Start, and it has adapted and grown to a new type of product level. It's a great product. I use it myself and have been using it for a while. But recently some things changed. One of the biggest problems with that product line was that the lack of technical support. So when you had a problem, you couldn't figure something out, there was a Mevo group on Facebook you could go to, but there was no real technical support, and the app needed work. Now, let's talk about the product a little bit before we get started. One of them has built-in Wi-Fi. One you can connect directly to the available Wi-Fi, and the other one you can use your phone's Wi-Fi. It will transmit as a station, so that you can control it without an issue. Another thing about it is, unlike my camcorder, which had an hour to an hour and a half life, it has a 6-hour battery life. Now, here's something very important. One of the problems that you probably know when you have to, if you want to use your cell phone for recording and you want to use an external mic of any type, you have to have a TRRS connector, which means the most standard mics are TRS, and you have to use an adapter from a TRS to a TRRS to your cell phone. This has a standard 3.5 TRS connector, which makes it very easy to use. It has a micro SD slot, so you can record while you're live streaming and edit and use that footage, or you can just use it just to record. Now, that USB-C port in the back is really good because you can, if you're going to use it for more than 6 hours, you can attach an external power supply. But what you can also do, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, is you can connect yourself. You can connect a player of some type, like your cell phone, and play music into it directly so that you not get copyright protections. Let's talk about some of the other things it can do. Now, you can buy them in a kit of 3, and this particular YouTuber happens to use them to do her cooking show, which is wonderful because she can set them up and have them do close-ups and things of that nature, making it a very excellent product. Now, there are some limitations, but we'll talk about those in a second. Now, the one thing that it does do is it does hook up to your cell phone through an app. And it can also hook up to your computer, and you can use it as a webcam by hardwire or by Wi-Fi. And what is beauty about it, as you can see in the app here, you have a sub-screen that you can see what's being seen, and then you have a screen which is you can zoom in and zoom out simply by taking your fingers and moving back and forth. That's an excellent feature. Now, to go live stream, you simply need to first connect the camera, and as you can see, the app will come up and ask you to connect it. Each individual Mevo has a serial number, and it will automatically detect the Mevos in the area, and you can connect up to 3 cameras at one time. Now, beautiful feature is, of course, the first one on the screen there is, of course, is your SD card. So you can record whatever you record on an SD card and edit it later. You can have it record as MP4. You can go to Facebook, you can go to YouTube, you can connect with various other connectors. Now, what happened about a year ago is that all of these churches and organizations were going to live stream directly to YouTube. And YouTube felt that they were going to be overwhelmed. So what they did is, unless you had 1,000 subscribers, they locked you out. Or did they? You know, people who didn't know or who had conventional systems had to pay for a service to be able to go and upload their videos, their church services, their meetings, directly to YouTube because of the 1,000 subscriber rule. But there is a function on this camera that's called RTMP. And I'll cover that in a later video. But when you connect to that, you will be able to live stream directly to YouTube without having 1,000 subscribers. But that's another video we got to talk about. And as you can see, it's very easy to use. And the setup is extremely simple. So there's a lot of accessories available to make the Mevo very versatile. The only thing that's missing at this time is there is no lens cap. So you should keep your Mevo in a protective environment to prevent the lens from being scratched. In a later video, I have a 3D printer coming out here, and I want to try to print one from my own. We'll use that as an example of the product quality. But that being said, now they make various things, such as a connector that fast charges the Mevo through the USB port. Another item that they do, it connects to the USB-C port, allows you to connect a Ethernet cable directly in there if there's no Wi-Fi available, and charge it at the same time. There are various microphones available, stands available off market. I happen to found this case. Nice plastic, heavy duty, and it was a reasonably priced. I'll leave you the link. And like I said, the Mevo is pretty much low light, and this one over here happens to hold a bunch of items: an external mic, a light, the charger, and a USB backup charger. I'll leave you the link. There's a lot of accessories available too for the Mevo that allows you to do that. Now, the most important thing that you need to do is when you buy an SD card for this camera, there is an accepted list for the SD cards. So you want to try to use the name any card that's been tested already for the Mevo. I have experienced that if you do not, and you use a brand that's different than one of the recommended SD cards, I've had difficulties. So that being said, so I have some footage here. I'm going to show you a person playing the piano, and you can see me able to remotely connect and move it. I'm also going to show you a person speaking on the podium. This is both recorded with the Mevo, so you can get an idea of the quality. There is no external mic connected. This is all from the Mevo's mic, so give you an idea of the sound quality. It's got to be short, unfortunately, because of copyright protections. So, that being said, let's get to that right now.
Thank you, Father. We thank you for this.
Where has the church come? How many people do we have in the seats? How good did...
As you can see, I'm able to zoom in and zoom out just by using my phone. Now, in this particular case, I'm only using one Mevo. I can use up to 3. So that's wonderful. You know, if you're setting up as a videographer and you set up to do a wedding and you want to set up one over here and one over here and one over here, and you want to put remote mics, you can on the bride and groom. Or if you just want to have a use a boom mic, which I happen to have there in the box, or you can just use the Mevo mic. The Mevo mic picks up excellently, and I don't even know if that's a word, excellently, but it works. And as you can see, the video audio was excellent. The other thing, of course, is I've used it to record other events. I've been outside recording some events. And have you ever worried about, you're at a sporting event and you want to live stream the event or record the event? And what happens between plays? A lot of times they'll play some music. And you can get a copyright claim either on Facebook, on YouTube. Well, like I said, that little USB socket, you can plug a player of some type, a phone, and you could play an alternate track in there, and you'll have to set that up. And that's another video on how to do that. And anyway, I hope this information has been helpful for you. This is the alternate to using your cell phone or the old camcorder, and it's so light. And the main thing, of course, is that it runs up to 6 hours. 6 hours. I mean, my camcorder ran an hour and a half tops. Now, my phone ran a little longer, but the other problem with using a phone was that... Now, one of the issues, of course, that using a cell phone brings is you have one camera only. So, yes, you can film a situation, you can film something, but you have to set up each individual frame, each individual shot. Where with 3 Mevos going on at the same time, and you have your controller, you'll be able to switch from one camera to the other camera to the other camera, pipe in live music, pipe in music that's recorded, zoom in on a particular item. Like, for instance, in that picture we looked at, we saw that young lady who has a wonderful cooking channel. And so she can be switching from one frame to another frame, from one picture to another picture. It just makes life much, much easier. So that's some of the things that you can do with your Mevo. So on a little later date, I will try to give you some ideas on how to use that RTMP, using the right lighting with it and things of that nature. But I have found that going outside, it records in most situations. And what I'm going to be trying this week, next week I'm going to Disney World, so I'm going to be trying to take my Mevo with me and do a film recording with it. But not only when I'm going to record, I want to see how it does with the fireworks and some of the shows at night. And I may put that in a later video. At any rate, this is Casey from Casey Grandpa Tech Out. I'm going to leave my link from my Amazon affiliate of those things such as the Mevo, the case, and things of that nature, so you can find them easily. Please subscribe to the channel. This month in December, I happen to be going for 1,000 subscribers. That would be grateful and most helpful if you did that. So listen, since it is December, have a great holiday, and I hope this has been helpful for you. And take care now.